Sometime at the end of last year, I realized that I am not allowing enough pleasure, joy, and creativity into my life. And that led me to begin The Artist's Way. This is week 3 of me going through this book. And if you want to join me in this process, you can click the link in my bio to join my community and get access to all of the weekly tasks. So you can do it with me. I'm Alethea, and this is my week 3 reflection. Week 3 is all about recovering a sense of power. I did complete my morning pages all 7 days, still going strong on that, and it feels amazing. I feel so much more creative, so much more apt to ideas. Literally, I wake up in the middle of the night with ideas and I have to hurry and write them down or they're gone. I also took my artist date, which I'll share about right here. Another week, another artist date. Today I'm going to a local plant shop, which I'm very excited about. Gonna go connect with nature because I can't really do that in the winter time, and I'm so excited. Let's go. I just came home from my artist date and I noticed something interesting that I want to share. I was walking around in the flower store, the plant store, and I started by connecting with the plants and feeling their beauty and their energy and breathing the fresh air and really admiring them. And quickly it switched to me checking the price tag on every single plant, no matter what it was, and feeling just like this disgusting feeling in my chest when I saw how expensive they were. And that shows me that I have a scarcity mindset that I still need to work through. I also noticed that I didn't want to film myself there because there was a lot of people around and I felt uncomfortable doing so. So this is a block, a visibility block, a fear of being seen block, and I have information for more things I need to work through, which is incredible. Also, when I finished at Cactus and Tropicals, I felt like it wasn't that long that I was there and I was hungry. And so I wanted to go get myself some lunch. And instead of going out and getting myself lunch, I wouldn't allow myself to. The first thing I thought was, let's get something cheap. The second thing I thought was, no, you deserve luxury. Go get something that you actually want. And the third thing I thought was, no, you have food at home. Just eat at home. Don't spend any money. Which is crazy. More scarcity mindset, more money blocks to work through. And I'm so thankful for this artist date that I went in with an entirely different intention and I left with more awareness and knowledge about myself and blocks that I have that I can now work through. Do some EFT tapping on, which I'm so excited. I'm going to write a script right now on being seen and scarcity blocks, and I'll post it in my community, The Alchemist Circle. So if you want access to that tapping, click the link in the description box below and join me. Let's tap away some of that nasty scarcity and visibility shit. Julia Cameron is talking about how possibility and freedom is so much scarier than staying in a prison cell of our own comfort zone, of what feels good to us. That taking the leap and doing what we actually desire is a lot harder and scarier and not as easy to do, which I feel that I really do. Like, we say we want to be free. We say that we want all these beautiful things and that we want to live these incredible lives, but it requires so much of us, or just a different version of us that we're not familiar with, and it's terrifying. So she talks about how we often are scared of our success and how the universe will hand us things on a silver platter that move us in the direction of where we want to go, and we continue to sabotage it. We don't actually follow through with what we thought we wanted. We ignore people and ignore signs and synchronicities and just put things to the side, which is absolutely insane. And I feel that so fully. I feel that, and I do want freedom. I do want a bigger life. I do not want to live the life that I'm living now forever. I can't do that. So
knowing these patterns of self-sabotage and being able to work through them, that's where the magic is. She also talks about like shame and feeling shame and what that means as grown adults. I was taught to feel a lot of shame, especially around my voice. I loved to sing as a kid. I was always singing and dancing and putting on shows, and like anytime a song I liked was on the radio, I would sing it as loud as I could. And the man who raised me would always shut me down and tell me to stop singing and saying like, who sings this song? And I would answer and he'd say, good, let's keep it that way. And like if we sang, he'd turn up the music so loud so he couldn't hear us. And it really put a lot of shame into my soul around singing. And even still to this day, singing is something I love and that I want to do, but I just don't see myself being good at it. I don't see myself like being able to produce music and make music the way that I want to because of my voice. And it carries into even my business and sharing my message and making these videos and speaking authentically what I really have to say. Like my voice has been so quieted and so shut down. I have been told time and time again that I'm just talking back and that like no one actually listens to me. No one actually cares what I have to say. And I've seen that play out in my life, and it's going into my art as well. I will be in the middle of making something and I'll feel really proud of it, and about halfway through or when I'm almost done, I just give up and I throw it somewhere. And I can't even tell you the amount of unfinished projects I have in my house. In fact, there's one right there. This is supposed to have crystals all on the inside and one more circle, and I just didn't finish it. I never did. And this is a pattern that I go through again and again and again of not following through and completing what I am creating. And seeing this laid out as a common problem has really been eye-opening for me, and it's inspiring me to finish the art. Don't let shame hold you back. Allow yourself to complete it no matter what. And I feel like this is going to be really the most challenging part for me, but I'm devoted to who I am becoming. I am devoted to my future, and I'm devoted to finishing what I started. Juliet Cameron invites you to pick one day this week and for an hour do an artist brain activity and notice what thoughts come up. So I just sat here and did mine, painted for the first 30-ish minutes, and then I rolled my hair for the next 30 minutes. And what came up for me was a lot of the people that have been in my life. I thought about people that hurt me, people that I loved, people that have helped me, people that I feel like I have hurt, people that from all different stages and different areas of my life have been a part of who I am today. And it was really interesting and really beautiful. I often find that I am a very lonely person. I stick to myself. My circle is small. I am a hermit of all the hermits. And so thinking about these people and all the impacts they had on my life was definitely an interesting experience. I'm not exactly sure what it means, but that's what I thought of and thought I would document it here. Now, at the end of the week 3 reading, there's a bunch of tasks here, and I really, really enjoyed some of this week's tasks. One thing I really loved is she says, many blocked people are actually very powerful and creative personalities who have been made to feel guilty about their own strengths and gifts. And I feel like this really rings true to me. I've always had many talents. I've always liked to do a lot of things, and I feel as if I have received a lot of criticism and judgment for that. People trying to tear me down because of my own creativity, because of what I do, because of the talents that I hold, because of the power that I exude. I have faced a lot of criticism. I have faced a lot of bullying. I have faced a lot of judgment from well-intentioned people and not so well-intentioned people. And it has taught me to really shut down and not share myself,
just this morning I was on a Zoom call and I wanted to share one of my ideas I had, and when it became my turn to speak, my whole body shut down. I got so nervous. My voice got blocked in my throat. I thought, what are these people gonna think of me? Do I really have anything valuable to say? Should I even say this at all? Maybe I'll just sit down. And that block, that tight feeling in my throat really showed me that I have so much more work to do on unblocking the voices in my head, the people who are judging me and criticizing me from my childhood that result in my body shutting down the way that it did today. So amazing. I love that. I know I'm powerful. I know I'm creative. You are too. Let's get into this. She invites you to do some inner child work and ask some questions about your childhood, which is really fun. And I actually I answered every single one of these questions, like my favorite childhood toy was, the best movie I ever saw as a kid was, I don't do it much, but I enjoy. And I wrote down all of my answers to these questions, and I actually put them into ChatGPT, and I asked ChatGPT to give me a weekly schedule to bring some of this fun from my childhood back into my daily life. And it was amazing. It gave me one little activity for every single day, which I have now scheduled in my calendar, and I'm going to do. Yes, true Virgo style. It is in my calendar. It's on the books. I'm doing it. And I'm really excited to see how that unfolds for me. One thing that surprised me was that taking time out for myself is hard and uncomfortable. But here's the truth, and something that I know to be true. Taking time out for yourself and sitting in solitude without your phone, without any of those distractions. I mean, you can create, you can walk, you can paint, you can be in nature, but that is the way to form your own self-trust, your own self-love and self-acceptance, and to see who you truly are. And I know this is true, and I teach this to my clients, so why does it feel so hard for me to do this for myself? I feel better when I am performing, when I am working, when I am doing things for my business or for my family or for my daughter or for other people rather than for myself. That has to stop. No wonder I feel so blocked. And honestly, I was surprised by how blocked I was. I thought I was a pretty creative person, but the exercises this week are showing me that I still am so blocked creatively. And going through this process is really powerful and really helping me see these blocks so I can use EFT tapping to clear them from my system, which I have been doing, and it has felt so good. I'm actually gonna do some tapping right after this on that Zoom call I had this morning. We're gonna go. Another beautiful thing about this week was in the end of the reading, which I share here. I'm on to the end of the week 3 reading, and there's a part that says that growth is non-linear. You'll take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and to just go along with the flow and the process. This says, show up, do what you need to do every single day, and then show yourself love and compassion. God helps those who help themselves. So how are you treating yourself? What does the food in your fridge look like? What does your bedding look like? Do you have nice clothes? How do you treat yourself? Because the way that you treat yourself is the energy you put into the world that helps everybody else understand how to treat you. And this is crazy to me. I know this is true. I've experienced it. I've talked about this before, but it just makes me want to get so granular on how I am truly treating myself every single day. And I advise you to treat yourself super kindly as well. Practice doing nice things for yourself. Start with one small thing every single day. As I heard in Twin Peaks, Dale Cooper says, I'm gonna give you a lesson on life. Every single day, once a day, give yourself a gift. Do not plan this gift. Let it come naturally, but give yourself a gift. Whether it's a nice cup of coffee, a brand new shirt, whatever it is, one small gift a day. and I love this, and I'm going to be taking it into my own life. So just had to share. Now, a lot of the tasks are not only about connecting with your inner child, which they are, and one of my favorite things is that I get to buy myself one of my favorite treats this week from my childhood, which is definitely a donut. So I'm gonna go get a donut sometime this week and eat it to my heart's truest delight, and I'm so excited. But it also invites you to look at your friends and the people that you admire and what traits and qualities they have, and to actually reach out and form a support system within that. It also asks you to list who you admire versus who you secretly admire. And instead of following who you admire, follow who you secretly admire, which is fun. The names on my secretly admire list are big freaking names, and I know I have to take big freaking action to live up to their expectations and their goals, and that's exciting to me. I love to push myself. I love to grow. I love to see how far I can take things and who I can become in the process, which is amazing. So I'm gonna do that this week. Really lean in and go after the people's lives that I admire and embody those every single day on a huge scale, create on a huge scale, do things on a bigger scale than I ever have done before, and that is on expansion. My entire intention with beginning this book was to expand out of my comfort zone, and that's exactly what I'm receiving this week. I'll let you know how it goes next week. I'm really excited you were here with me. Thank you. If you want to follow along, again, you can in my community, The Alchemist Circle. Link is in the description box. Let's get it. Bye.